Okay, fork disassembly. I've never recorded video, so I don't know how good this is gonna be, but it's on my phone on the selfie camera, so I hope you guys can see. On this fork, I'm taking the tube off. What I've done is to take it off, there's this little dowel bolt on the bottom of the tube, and that thing, there's a rod inside the fork. And you have to have a special tool to hold the rod to loosen this. So the trick to do it is to, when the fork is on the bike and there's somebody like sitting on the bike, you put it's an 8mm Allen head. You get somebody to sit on the forks and put pressure on them from the spring, and then turn this dowel bolt and it'll loosen up. If it's off the bike, you can turn it upside down, push on it to compress it, and then turn it. You just gotta like push on it and crack it. Once it pops loose from the thing, it'll back out real easy. Like, okay, so once you get the dowel off, oil will drain out of there. You can take the so as you can see on this one, the dowel's out. The drain screw is also right by the dowel, so it just drains out of there. And then this is the top is a 17mm Allen head, and once you take that out, it drains a little bit better. You got to be careful when you're taking this out though, because the spring is under pressure. So once it gets out a little bit, it'll kind of pop, and that's the spring pushing out. Now I've got the fork in a vise with a towel, and you want to be really careful when you're working on this. When the fork's fully extended, you don't want to mar up this area, because that's where the fork travels. So you want to make sure that area doesn't get messed up. This, you can nick it, you don't want to, but you can kind of fuck with this area. So when you have it in a clamp, just make sure it's safe. Then I'm going to back this out. Now once you see the O-ring, you know you're close to it coming out. You just want to keep pressure on your wrench as you push. And boom. There it comes. You got your hex nut with your little O-ring right in the middle. You got a spacer. And then shade. Where's my? Remember to have a oil pan underneath this, because you're gonna have just drips of oil everywhere. And then you have between the spacer and the spring is a little washer. Don't lose that. You need that. And then you've got your spring. Voila. Boing, boing, boing. And then underneath your spring is this dowel rod. And that's where that little bolt screws into here. And you need like a special tool that, I don't know what that is. It's some sort of like 12-bit Allen or something. But if you don't have the tool that fits into there, then it's hard to take it out. And then underneath the dowel is a small spring like this. I'm not quite sure. I'm putting my progressive spring kit in, and I'm not sure I'm supposed to use this, but if you're just rebuilding your forks, You definitely need this. Okay, so then what you want to do after you've done this is take this off and work on your oil seal clip. This is just like a dust cover. You just get a flathead in there, and it's like a metal cap that's over a piece of rubber. So you just work that off. And then that'll just whoop. So it's you got your metal, and then there's a dust seal, a rubber dust seal that should be a different piece. Just fits on under it, if I'm correct. And then you have your oil seal in here, and there's like a metal not a circlip quite, but it's like a piece of metal that goes in and then expands to hold the seal in. And all you got to do for that is get a flathead and kind of pop it out. Okay, so my camera stopped recording after I took the oil seal out, but basically you have the oil seal on, and it's in here, and you put it in the vice grip, and you use this bottom piece as a slide hammer, and you just yank. And bang, if it doesn't come off, you just keep doing it. Bang, bang, and then psh, it'll come off. And then what you'll have is, well, that's the dust cover, but you'll have your oil seal. I put the wrong thing back on. You'll have your oil seal, like down here, oil seal. Then you have a small spacer. And then you've got these two rings that both have a split. They both have a split on them, and that helps you to, like, you put a little screwdriver and pry it off. But you don't really have to take them off if you're just filling the fork oil back up. One thing you do want to do before you rebuild is clean everything, get some brake cleaner or something, and clean everything really good. And then one last piece is that once you pull that fork tube out, in the bottom of your stanchion, it's going to be a little dowel spacer like this in the bottom of here. So make sure you get that and you don't lose that. Here's my other fork. I'm just going to show you how it works as a slide hammer again. Take the bottom, you got the dowel out, everything. Pull it back, and boom, comes right off. And then, as you can see, that little spacer that was in the bottom fits down inside the tube. And then you've got your damper rod in there. And the damping rod will come out the top. And that little spring goes over the damper rod like that. Oh. See? First take out the bolt on the bottom, and if you don't take it out, it doesn't slide. Boom! Okay, this is the assembly portion of the fork change, oil change and everything. So, parts, you got the bottom tube, you got your upper tubes, you've got a flat washer and a ring washer there. And then also you want to make sure that this bottom washer is on there. Then you've got your damper rod with the little springy, and then you want to make sure you've got this tapered piece, but that does not go on this yet. Then you've got your oil seals, your dust covers, and you want to make sure you have your retaining clip. Then you're going to need your damper rod bolts. You're going to need the spacer between your spring and your spacer. You're going to need the spacer. You're going to need a spring and the heads for the forks. So, start out. You take, let's see, I'm doing the Speedo side, so that's my left tube, the new one. Okay, so you take this and you take your damper rod and you make sure the spring is on it, and then you just pop it in. Okay. Then, after that's in, you stick the spacer with the skinny end. The skinny end, you know, it's kind of gets thicker. I don't know if you can see that, but the skinny end goes into the bottom here. And then, oh, right. You want to take, first off, before you do that, you want to take these two things off the tube. My bad. Okay, so you take those off. You've got your damper rod with the spring inside. You take your spacer, you stick it in there, and then you put that. It's easy to put the stanchion onto the tube so that those pieces don't fall out. And you slide it, you bottom it in, bottom it out. Then you take one of your damper rod bolts and you put it in the bottom. And it should, the damper rod should be there. Ah, you know what happened is the damper rod inside there wasn't on the spring, or the spring got in the way a little bit. Yes. Okay, now it's good. So what you want to make sure, what happened to me is, when you know this piece goes down, and what had happened is this spring had gotten in the way, kind of like this, and it wasn't going in. So you want to make sure that when you put it in, this has kind of settled all the way down so that you can get your screw into there. Now, the one thing I will say though is if you don't have that tool, that you won't be able to get pressure on this to put the damper rod bolt in. So that's what you do for now. You don't put your bolt in yet because you won't be able to get a grip on it. So then let me check the manual. Right. Okay, so then you take your circular spacer, put it back on the fork tube, and that is going to fit. Let me see if I can move this camera. It's going to fit into the spot between the fork and the tube. So you get that settled in there, and now I have got a piece of PVC. So what I have done is I've taken, you got a piece of PVC or something that's similar to the diameter you need, and you slide it on there. And you just give it a couple taps like that, and that little spacer will just sit in there. And then when you know your tube won't wiggle back and forth inside the shock. Okay, then once you've got that in, then you take this this round washer and you want to make sure the curved side is up. And you slide it down. And then comes the oil seal. Now, oil seal is going to have a raised lip and no raised lip. The raised lip goes up on the tube. So what I'm going to do is open up one of my fork oils, get a little dab of oil on my fingers, put it on the inside of the seal. Get it nice and lubed up. I'm also going to put it on the outside of the seal. Just get it nice and lubed. You don't want this thing gripping and catching on anything, tearing it up. Okay, so you've got your fork seal lubed up, ready to go. Now, when you're replacing these seals, you want to make sure there's no junk or marks on your tube. I have to replace mine. If there's big divots or pieces of rust or something, when you push this down, it'll chew up the oil. So you don't want to, you want to make sure it's clean. So then you take your oil seal, unclean, and it's tight fit, so you just get it started on there. And slide it down. I'm going to take some more oil and I'm going to lube the tube up a little bit right by where it goes in, along the edges. And it should just push in for the most part. And then once again, you take your piece of PVC pipe and you give it some wax. Now, you'll know that the oil seal is all the way in, because if you see there's a little groove down in there. I think you can see it right there. That's where the retaining clip goes. That's where this retaining clip goes. So you know the oil seal is all the way in when you can see that ring. And then you put your retaining clip in, and I like to put the open end towards the back of the tube, or towards the wheel. So towards this, that's where the open end would go. So you just kind of slide it in, put the open end in first, and then you just kind of push it in. You got a flat head, and you push down. And you want to make sure it goes into the groove all around the fork. Once you're sure it's in, then, okay, so that's all done. Then you get your dust seal. Bring your dust seal over. Slide that baby down. And you pop it on. Now, when you do this, it's going to get tight in one area. When you first put it in, flush it up to the back and get it into the back so that when you have to force it and push it in, you can do it on the front where you have room to work your fingers, because it's kind of hard to push on the back here. You have to get a flathead and kind of push down on the dust seal. But once it's in, it's flush up and the oil seal is installed. Now, once you've done that, you are ready to put the springs in and the top. Okay, so now we are ready to put the springs in and the oil and finish the fork up. Now, before you do that, I wanted to say that the way I am doing this is kind of the homemade, like you don't have any of the Yamaha tools or whatever. So the dowel here, and the dowel bolt, you need to have pressure. This is in the bottom of the fork, and you need to have pressure pushing it down in order to get this bolt to be able to go in. Otherwise, when you try to push this in, the dowel just moves inside the fork. Now Yamaha, has a special tool that fits into there, but I don't have that. Now, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put the fork spring in, no oil, and the spacer and everything, put the top on so that the fork has pressure, and then I invert the fork and push down, add pressure to the spring, and that will hold this in place and will allow me to put the bolt in. Another thing you can do is get a wooden dowel. It's like a wooden tube, a soft wood shaft that's small enough to go inside your fork, and you kind of trim it down so that it fits inside of this thing, and then you just kind of pound it, not hard, but you tap it into here and then use that as a makeshift tool. If you don't do that, then you can just do what I'm going to do in the video. So, okay, so you've got everything. You got your oil seal and everything ready to go. Take your spring. I've got nice progressive spring kit coming in. Stick that baby in, and it'll be pretty much flush with the top of here. And then take the spacers. Now the stock ones, at least that came out of this, are metal. The ones that came with my kit are these plastic ones, so I'm going to use the plastic ones, but you just use what came out of your fork. I'm going to have to put this on the ground so you can't see it, but basically, remember, you get your heads ready, which is that 17 millimeter Allen head. This guy. You get that ready. And what you're going to do is you're going to put this spacer in, push down, it's going to push the fork in, and then as you're pushing, you have to get this started and catch it on the threads. One thing I would say is that right now with this compressed, the spring is right about here, but you pull the tube up and you see the spacer sticks out this far. But if you pull the tube up, you'll see that the spacer goes in a lot farther. So you want to pull the tube up when you do that. Okay, so as you can see, I pushed it down and got it started a little bit, so now it's holding. So then I'm going to get my wrench. Oh. Okay, so that's snug. Now, let's see. Okay, so there's a little washer in there that can kind of move around. If you can see, it's off a little bit. So if you just take a Phillips head or something and get it so that it lines up, then you take your dowel bolt and you get it started. Okay. So now it's started. So without that dowel bolt in, this tube will pull out the same way. That's how we used it as a slide hammer. So you want to make sure that bolt's in there and make sure before not to pull this because it'll pull on the oil seal and pull the oil seal back out. So that's started. You kind of push, compress, and you'll feel the dowel start. And then oh wow. I think I may have left the bolt outside. So I had to get this as an 8mm Allen head for the dowel bolt. So like I said, when you're doing it without the tool, you invert it so that the top is on the ground. You push down on the top, and that gives you pressure to tighten it. If you don't have that pressure, and you try to tighten it, this will spin and it'll spin underneath the spring or turn the spring with it, which doesn't harm the fork, but you just can't tighten the dowel. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up. And you just need to get it like hand tight for now, so that it doesn't leak. You can crank it down. Once you have it on the bike with oil in it and weight from the bike on it, you'll have more than enough pressure to be able to torque it while it's without it moving and not needing the tool. So now, because you had to put the spring back in, and once the dowel is in, now we're going to take this back out and take the spring out to put the oil in. Once again, remember that when you are taking this top bolt out, it's under spring pressure. So once it loses the threads, it will pop a little bit. So just be prepared so you don't lose it and it just goes flying out. It's close. Just a reminder, it's close when the O-ring has kind of come out of there. That's when you know it's almost about to pop out loose. even even though I was anticipating it, the pop still, this thing still flew. So you got to be careful for that. So when you fill it, the factory spec to fill is no spring or spacer in it, and the fork tube is fully compressed. And that is the factory spec to fill it up. Now I have got a fork oil level gap tool here, which basically I take this ring and you measure by an air gap, so how much air there is from the top of the tube to the level of the oil. So this tool allows you to set that gap, and then you fill it with oil, and then you suck the excess oil out with this. Another way you can do it is, this is how I did it last time. Take like a ruler or something that fits inside the tube and mark it at 7, and if you can find or take a stick that has like a 7-inch long piece of string, and then put your oil down there until it's into the tube until it's close, and then get like a syringe and shine a light in there and add oil until you see like the shimmering surface touch whatever measuring device you have, and that's kind of like how you can tell your air gap. But this is like $15 tool, and it takes all the hassle out. So I would buy this tool. If I recall, the factory spec is 1984 or fork oil capacity, fork oil level 700, 750, XV 1100. It says 6.1 inches. 6.1 inches for the 750 and the 1000. 7-inch gap for the 1100. So I've got a 750, so I'm going to do 6.1, which is 155 millimeters. So I'm going to set this to 155. And then how that works is you just put it in here, and it sits right on top of the tube, right there. And then you just fill it up until it's ready to go. So I've put enough oil in there that's definitely above the gap. And now I'm going to use the tool to extract it. And presto. It has stopped sucking out, so I know I'm there. So once you've got your oil level set, then you are going to take your spring and you're going to start putting it in. But be careful because it's probably going to overflow your oil. Maybe not. Maybe not. And then put your spring in. Now, don't forget your metal spacer. And then now I'm supposed to reuse the original spacer, so let me go grab mine. Okay, stock spacer. So then you're gonna pull the tube up, stick the spacer in, get your cap. What did I do with that cap, huh? Get your cap ready. And put it on. And you just you just go until it doesn't move anymore, and it'll just won't move at all. And then I believe right, so the last thing, you're all done except for that damper rod bolt on the bottom. Once it's on the bike, or if there's enough pressure and you can do it down here, you have to tighten it to 17 feet-pounds of torque, or 23 nanometers. And once that's done, you're good to go. Nice and tight. And you're done.